Oh my good grief. Oh, bug central. Oh, ugh. Welcome to the channel, and my microphone has stopped working, so I'm going to try it this way. And I thought today, 1st of February, I'll give you a little tour around just to show you what the plot looks like in total at the moment. And as you can see, the 2 bays that I did manage to get totally weeded, manured and covered. Hooray! Yes, that looks good, but that's where the good news ends. Over here I was doing pretty well with the weeding of the fruit corner, and I need to prune that red currant bush, that big one there in the middle, and I need to prune the blueberry bushes, and I want to take some cuttings this year. I've never done that before, so I'm going to have a go at that hopefully this week. And this is a little patch that is still to be weeded here, so hopefully again at some point this weekend we'll get that tackled as well. Now over here, this is a kind of whatever I need to plant goes in here, and I thought I had manured that. I obviously didn't. I did put manure in these, and now that I can see it in proper daylight, this is actually rhubarb and I can see the crown a little bit, so I'm going to have to actually move. Helps if I have you the right way around. So I'm going to have to move the manure away from the crowns or they will get scorched. This is another one where I just put whatever I need to have a space for, so anything can go in there. And my other big rhubarb patch. And again, I'm going to have to dig around to find where the crowns are and make sure that the manure isn't so close, because it looks like I've just dumped it everywhere, which is not. Actually, that's not what I thought I had done when I did it, but never mind. So in the polytunnel, the garlic is growing well. The weeds have come back a bit. See the difference in colour? Now that's interesting because I haven't watered in here for ages, and obviously the water is coming in, and oh, so is someone else. So we have a visitor. Who do you reckon that is? That's interesting and a little worrying. I mean, if it's just in the cold weather, I can maybe put up with it. So yeah, the weeds, I did do a little bit of weeding a while ago now, so I will be back to deal with that, because like I said before, garlic does not like competing with weeds. It doesn't go well. Do you know, the wind is actually blowing the polytunnel and condensation just fell, so I wonder if that's just condensation. So why is it not getting the same amount over here? I do not know. That's a weird one. I haven't got anything planted in the other side. I'll get that tidied up. And in here this year is going to be for cucumbers and aubergines. So that's what's going to be going in this side. At the top, this is an area, and I hope the wind isn't too strong because like I said, my mic isn't working. This area I tend not to show you because it's a bit of a mess. As you can see, the chair that was made many years ago, sadly falling apart. That's why I've got the plastic chairs here. They don't look as good, but they are functional. I don't think I could sit on that. And over here, again, my lavenders have gone really out of control. They're going to have to be tidied up. And believe it or not, I'm embarrassed to show you this, but I'm going to show you. In there is a little tire pond, which this whole thing needs a serious clean out. And the old paddling pool has also been turned into a pond, which looks disgusting. I'm not sure what that is. I think that could just be ice, is it? Let's have a look. Oh, it's ice. Oh my goodness. Okay, we've got a big load of ice in there. Oh, that shows you how cold it's been. My apple tree, looking pretty healthy. I'll have a wee look over that this week, or maybe next week, and see what needs pruned. It's a good time to be pruning the apple tree. And more lavender, which does need to cut back. And we'll say hello to the ancient shed and wonder how you're still up. Lovely. that's my comfrey patch in there, which grows fantastic. I need to actually weed this whole area too. So next is a bit of a mixed area. I'm actually just going to lift this chair and we'll pretend that it wasn't as messy. Right, so we start with more strawberries and what I call my herb garden, but it's got bits of everything. Actually, I have a plant in there, I don't even know what it is. So, and I see a little broccoli. This area, as you can see, hasn't been dealt with yet, so this is all to be weeded and tidied. My pathetic leeks, I don't know what happened to them, they're not very good. But beside them, some garlic starting to show through, which is good because I didn't get anything in this patch last year, so I'm really happy with that. All cabbages, and that brings us to the patch that I was working on last video. So I am going to tackle this and finally get this bit cleared. I won't show you all the weeding because, you know, I think you've seen enough of that anyway. So I'm going to get this done today, she says very optimistically. And then we come to this bay, which I'm a little disappointed with because it won't look like it, but I had already weeded this and that is covered in homemade compost, and the chickweed is loving it. It's decided to spread itself everywhere. The frost hasn't killed it, which I thought it would, so I'm going to have to really get in there and tackle it. It is a bit breezy, it's not raining, but the ground is still damp, so I don't think hoeing it is really going to make much of a difference, although I might try that first. And yeah, it needs a lot of tidying up, so that will be tackled after I weed the other bit that I just showed you. And right at the back, that is the compost that I'll be putting around the strawberries and the fruit area. That is the compost that I made last year, which will be going into that bin. And then my 3 Daleks, which will be going into this bin. And I actually have another bin. I was told I had too many bins one year and rubbish, you can't have enough. This one is underneath all there, full of wood chip that I put in last year. So that is going to stay there for another year, and then hopefully that can go in the beds. Right, so that's the grand tour. It's 5 degrees today. Not as cold as it has been before, but there's a bit of a breeze. It's not drastic, but it's just enough to make me feel a little chilly. So I'm going to crack on and hopefully have some good progress to show you very soon. I'm always optimistic. You have to be optimistic. So finally got that bit weeded. Now I'm going to get more manure. Yeah, I know, it's not rotted down enough, but I'm using it anyway. Okay, end of day 1. Camera is struggling to focus. Oh, it really is struggling to focus. Is that any better? Probably not. It's getting dark, 5 o'clock now, and the manure is done. So day 2, made it back up. This is Sunday, the 2nd of February. It's about the same temperature as yesterday, maybe a degree warmer. It doesn't feel cold today, it's lovely. So I can actually show you in daylight the progress I made yesterday, and I'm really pleased because I did a bit of a tidy up and I think it looks a lot better. Still a lot to do, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I left feeling quite pleased with it. So let me just show you what happened yesterday, because it was too dark, I couldn't show you. So here is the bay that we got finished. And if you see, the manure I put on yesterday is actually quite dark. So like I said yesterday, I'm going to put my earlies in here. This stuff is actually starting to darken already, and we'll see how it looks in a couple of months when I'm actually going to plant into it. But yeah, I'm really pleased. All weeded and a good thick layer of manure put on. Now that just leaves, like there's a strip here and this corner to be done, but I'm going to leave that just now because squashes and things like that tend to go in there, so that's not my priority. My priority is over here. This is the last main bay, and yes, I did put homemade compost on it, and you know, nature doesn't like empty looking spaces, so along comes the chickweed. So I need to get rid of that, but what I want to do as well is weed the space in between. Now we did put some asparagus plants in here last year and didn't mark it. I say we, my helper did, and it didn't get marked. So I'm going to weed it, and I'm not going to put manure on there. I'm going to put some of the compost out of the compost bin on there, so it'll be homemade compost. So once I've done that, then I'm going to start on this. So let's get to it. I took the wood out that separated the bays because one, they were rotting, and the slugs and snails just love to hide in there. But I'm thinking, like I did with, I put a line in the other bay where the asparagus was planted. I think I might just do sticks at either end, just so I know roughly where one bay ends and another one begins. That would be handy. I don't want wooden borders, but just a wee guideline somewhere. That would be good. Right, let's clear this. All the rubbish out the way. That's the rubbish from yesterday. Bag of compost, that's handy. Oh, gross. So when you start moving things, you really find all the little hiding places for the bugs, don't you? And they're disgusting. Hopefully, well, if my robin turns up, he's going to have a feast. I haven't seen much of him, actually. Maybe he's taking the huff. I don't know. It's done pretty good with the weed suppression, which is what I wanted. Oh my good grief. Oh, bug central. Oh, ugh. That was unpleasant. I am at one with nature. I just don't like the buggy parts. Oh, gross. Oh, forget it. Let's just drag that away. That really is disgusting. I won't give you a close-up. Right, that's the rubbish out the way. Now I get down to clearing it. I really hope I've got a lot of progress to show you guys today. Here's hoping. Oh, the sun's just come out. This is just fantastic. I have to take my glasses off when I'm weeding so I can see better. Yes, I know. I'm at an awkward age. So, yeah, there's nothing else for it. Start at the beginning and work my way along. And I'm wondering if these stones were actually supposed to show me where the asparagus went. I will find out when it springs up. If it springs up. Right, let's just get these weeds out. I like to be quite systematic when I'm doing weeding. I like to start in one area and work back and be quite methodical about it. You might not think that when you see the whole plot, but I do. That's my ideal, I suppose, which we don't always get to garden our ideal way, do we? Oh, look at that progress already. I've a good feeling about this. You know, in the films they always say, I get a bad feeling about this one. No, I've got a good feeling about this one. This is going to look fantastic. And actually, the weeds on this side, because it's homemade compost, it's very soft and it's damp, so the weeds are actually just coming out. Oh, It's coming out so easily on that side, not so much this bit. This has got to get the homemade compost. I better roll these sleeves up a wee bit. It's a little long for me, my gardening jumper. And the sleeve length, my arms aren't not quite gorilla length, you know. Ooh, right, I'll bring you back in a wee minute. Well, a few minutes, you know what I mean. Right then, finally got that weeded as well as I can do it. So I'm going to get some of the compost out of the bin in there. Look at the state of me. I'm going to get some compost and we'll throw that all over here. And then we can call that bit finished. Right, so that is that bit. Now got some compost on it. We put a little bit of compost on because I'm not entirely sure where the asparagus is that my helper put in last year. So, and I have a couple more to put in. And when they grow up, I'm just going to put a little bit of wood chip down. And it'll just be like a little wood chip path in between the bays. Nothing major, nothing, you know, like drastic. I'm just looking, I think I may need another little bit of manure. That's looking just a little squint. Surprising that, isn't it? But I'll think, I might wait and see. I'm not sure. I might get another load next time I'm up. Just try and straighten it up a wee bit. And while my helper was doing that, I've made a start on this part. What a difference. I'm actually going to put seaweed on some of this for my beetroot. So I'm going to do a little bit more and then we'll call it quits. Right, just before I go, check this out. I got the whole strip cleared. I've just got the edge here to finish. And I cut back the plantain. Yes, it is a weed. But even though this is a weed, plantain, make sure you have some in your plot, because if you have stinging nettles like we do, just behind me actually, we have a big patch of stinging nettle which I let grow because I use them. But they say when you get stung to use dock, don't. Use plantain. Get one of those big leaves, scrunch it all up till you get the juice, rub it on the sting. It works like magic, it's fantastic. So I always keep my plantain, and it's just starting to grow back after the winter. So I've kind of cut out a lot of the old leaves. And this thing was, I don't know if you did see it before, but it was big. It was a great big one. So I keep that. So I am delighted with the progress that we have made this weekend. That bay pretty much finished. Like I said, maybe one little row more of the manure to go, but we'll see how it goes. Started the next bay. I've got one strip of that done. We've done a lot of tidying up. The rubbish has been picked up. Probably a few other things as well. So yeah, I'm pleased for that. So thank you for watching, and I hope you will join me in the next video. But until then, you take care of yourself.